Political analyst Brian Sobel. And Brian, the headline is that indeed the needle is moving because of this. The polls are tightening. In one recent poll released today, it's down to 1 point. Are you surprised by that movement?
Well, on one level, yes, and on one level, no. I have said for a while there's going to be compression. We've talked about that because it just tightens up towards the end.
But you thought it would get down to 3 or 4.
Right, and it's down to 1, but that's on a national level. And remember, that's not how we that's not how we elect a president. So the key thing is to look at the swing states and see
Florida,
whether
tight leaning Trump, Ohio in play, but Pennsylvania really isn't moving.
No, and Pennsylvania is extremely important to the Trump campaign. If he doesn't get Pennsylvania, he actually what he needs to do is get a couple of her states that are on the bubble, and if he can't do that, he doesn't win anyway. The math doesn't work. But there's still a few days to go, although a lot of people voted already, and that benefits Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely. The strategy of blaming the FBI and James Comey for coming out inappropriately so close to the end of an election, a smart strategy, or is that not ringing with?
Well, I think voters have fatigue around this issue that it's always somebody else's story and problem. I don't, it's so close to the election. She's saying about what she can say, but it's just another one of these things that undermines people who may be on the fence and saying at the last moment, do I really want to vote for her or him? And what we see here is an election where people are voting against somebody instead of for somebody.
And as we get closer and closer, if the narrative doesn't change, she's going to have to ride this all the way to November 8th. Does Donald Trump realistically have a chance now because of this?
The chance is opened a little bit. Before this latest bombshell, I would have said no chance whatsoever. Now it's a slim chance, but it's still
what does he have to do? And I guess he has to turn somehow Pennsylvania and or Ohio?
That's it. I mean, he's got to turn some of these states that clearly are in the Clinton camp, or on the Clinton side of the ledger. If he can turn a couple of those states, that is the huge difference. But again, lots of people have already voted, so those votes are in the bank, and Clinton just has to hold him off for a few more days here.
The email scandal, before it, people were worried that the down balloting was really going to hurt Republicans. Does this help that equation?
Yes, I think for people that still want to make a choice about, in all these states, for United States Senate, for members of Congress, I think the calculus is changing a little around that as well. Although I am one that has said almost since the beginning, I'm not sure that the Trump campaign had a lot of down-ticket legs. I think people were looking at those candidates for who they were, irrespective of the top of the ticket.
All right, Brian Sobel, as always, thanks for the insight.
Absolutely.